So my question is pretty clear that the final saga's major flashback's probably going to involve God Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Who do y'all think is going to be involved in that flashback that we don't already know about? Like, we know Garp was there, we know Big Mom and Kaido were there, but who else?
Who else? I think Rox, right? I can't name any other characters that I don't know about. I think that Rox will be more fleshed out. He won't be a silhouette anymore.
I know a lot of people, like, we know of the Celestial Dragon there, but we don't know if that Celestial Dragon's still alive or who he is specifically. I heard some people say it might be even Im-sama who was there, that Rox took. So I think that would be probably a big reveal for us, finding out who was the Celestial Dragon that Rox took. That whether he was going to kill him or use him for leverage or whatever purpose that Rox had, I think that's probably going to be a big plot towards the flashback, towards what's going to happen now.
Yeah, and also too, there's some speculation that Whitebeard's supposed baby mom, that she was on the rocks, so it would be revealed that she was actually there, and that could possibly be Whitebeard's son or not. And
she's not getting more fleshed out, bro.
If she shows up on the rocks, she'll be like, oh, because Marco even said it too. It's like they did serve at one time, possibly on one ship. When would that be?
Yo, low key, you know who's gonna be more fleshed out too? Shaki.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that.
Shaki was a badass from what was said.
There's speculation that she might have been on Rox's ship as well.
Yeah. What about you, Trent? What do you think?
So I think the major players in the final saga are going to be heavily tied to God Valley. So I think Buggy, Shanks, and Blackbeard, and possibly even Dragon are all involved.
Buggy? Why
I
Buggy?
think Buggy and Shanks were both babies at the time, and I think somehow God Valley has something to do with like child trafficking.
Oh,
they're both there. Okay,
you saw Par's child trafficking video.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, it could be interesting. I could see, like, I know there's theories about Buggy being a celestial dragon of some sort, or Shanks being a celestial dragon. I don't know. It would seem kind of weird for Roger just to take two kids, unless he did something that he did with like Garp, where he told like Garp to take Ace and make sure he's safe and grow up in a safer environment or something like that. I don't know, man. I just feel like the one thing I hope is like Oda doesn't storyboard God Valley in any way.
Yeah.
I feel like if we're gonna get God Valley information, please flesh it out in a flashback that's very similar to Odin's flashback, where we get like a long flashback, but like it's very important. Like everything in it just hits nonstop.
Yeah, what if we found out the reason why Rox went to God Valley is because his son was taken?
Or taken?
Yeah, taken. He was like, yo, I'm getting my son back. And then, I don't know why Roger would be there trying to stop him for that, but maybe he didn't know. What if that was the reason?
Well, I think possibly he tried to take it too far and started killing innocents just to get his son back, and so Garp and Roger had to stop.
Oh, yeah. If we're going to go to God Valley and we're going to get some Rox details, Rox needs to match his ambition.
Yeah.
The king of the world is bigger than the king of the pirates, or finding the All Blue, or being the best father of all time to a bunch of misfits. Like, this dude had a goal that's very comparable to like what happened in the Ancient Kingdom days, where like these 20 kingdoms overtook the Ancient Kingdom and created the world government. He was of that mindset, but by himself, and 3 other pirates who now rule the world as we know it. It's like, what? Like, this dude reigned supreme over them, made them bend the knee. And then he had Roger, who's considered the greatest of all time, and Garp, who's considered the strongest Marine of all time. It's like, all these dudes had to come together in order to beat him. So I need to see the most badass character of all time get taken out in like the craziest means. I hope there's just a movie about it. I would love if there's a movie and no Straw Hats are in it. It's just a movie about that.
It'll be interesting because there's a lot of conquerors like that there going on there. But also too, what I always noted why I thought it was weird. You know how you have Roger, who's kind of big, Whitebeard, who's kind of big, Big Mom's kind of big.
He's small.
Yeah, exactly.
And he reigns supreme over them.
But note how Luffy's small as well. So I don't know. I always kind of compared that to, or saw a similarity to that. Like, because I know we talk about Luffy possibly being part of Rox's family, but Luffy's like normal average height amongst fighting a bunch of monsters who are way bigger than conquerors, right? Because Roger's not crazy big, but he's tall as heck. Like, he's a little bit shorter than Whitebeard. But this dude, compared to them, Rox was looking like a midget. But he wasn't. He's not a midget, of course, you know? It made me think of Luffy, how small Luffy is going against Whitebeard, going against Kaido, going against Big Mom, going against these giants. Yeah, he's standing with them, but he's like normal height compared to them.
Rox actually might be close to around Roger's height, though.
No, he was shorter. That silhouette, he was way shorter than Roger.
Yeah, I would just like to see more lore regarding God Valley as well. I think that God Valley is going to be probably something that if Oda doesn't land correctly, somehow mess up One Piece and the ending of it, right? Like, if he doesn't land Shanks, then it's this is not what the fruit was supposed to bear, you know? Like, there's specific things in the story that Oda needs to land, and for me, God Valley has to be something he has to land absolute. If not, it brings One Piece down overall.
Oda's been kind of showing that Shanks is somewhat special in his own right. Like,
Yeah.
he may not be from anything like Zoro, but either way, their will is special in that essence. It made them special.
The only thing too I don't want to happen is like I don't want the lore of like ancient fruits to be so heavily in the story.
Right.
So like for example, we have this whole heavily insinuated thing about Big Mom and Kaido and the fish fruit that Kaido has. I don't want it to be where like that's in play. But then we have the Yami Yami in play where Rocks had it and then it somehow was supposed to go through like this manifestation of reincarnation, which then Blackbeard ends up getting later in the future and then he has the will of Rocks. And I'm like, okay, so like I don't want devil fruits to be so important during God Valley. I want the characters themselves and their ambitions and their reasonings of what they're doing and why they're doing it. And I think that would be so much better than the lore of devil fruits.
Yeah, I would hate it actually a lot. If Rocks had Blackbeard's fruit, I would hate it a lot. Like, I would favor it. I mean, I would like Rocks to have no fruit. If he did, it makes sense how they wrote it. He might have Kaido's fruit, but definitely, I would prefer Kaido's over Blackbeard's. Blackbeard is just
what if he had both?
I think the most badass characters in the show just don't have devil fruits.
Yeah.
He was the strongest out of his crew, and he's the one who didn't have a fruit, while Whitebeard and Big Mom had a fruit.
Yeah.
Like, that would be dope to me.
A little more credit does go to ones without fruits, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
Like with Luffy, he has an ability. But
What about you, Trent? What do you think about all we said?
I just think God Valley is going to be the major flashback for the final saga, and so I think it's got to tie in all the major characters in the final saga, and so that could include anyone from Dragon to Vegapunk to Shanks to Buggy to Blackbeard, and then somehow they're going to tie all those people together.
it just hit me. I'm sorry. That's probably where we'll find out the Burnt Man through God Valley.
Nah,
No?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think the
Because he's
Birdman-
talking about through the flashback.
No,
He has to be in there somewhere.
I think this is a short-term idea
Yeah.
for the Burning Man. It's probably gonna be Sabo.
Nah,
No, I don't think
I don't know. I don't know, bro.